I went through did a little closet cleaning on Friday, and I found a little bumble. And do you know what bumbles do?
What do bumbles do?
Bumbles bounce.
It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a modern podcast where we talk about everything that's great, like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate, oh yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name's Mike Royer.
And seriously, almost a dozen TV shows are renewed or debuting this fall.
Yep.
Mike, it's ridiculous. Surprisingly, Hellboy is coming back to Earth. Wink, wink. Deadpool is getting very animated, and more.
Yeah, this is a very intense TV time of the year. I believe the industry term is upfronts. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I think Fox was a big heavy hitter. NBC came to the table. I think ABC was out there too. I think pretty much every major network kind of stood up to the plate and kind of let you know what got canceled, what got renewed. Mm-hmm. And I believe later in the summer is when we actually kind of get the announcement of brand new shows. I think that's still up for debate, what's like brand new and coming and what's the slotted dates. And
well, I think dates are, but I think we'll know within this month because they have to start production over the summer.
Yeah, and then we'll probably get like little teasers sooner or later.
Yeah, I assume Comic-Con, they saved that Ghost Rider reveal for S.H.I.E.L.D. all the way up to Comic-Con, and that was pretty big. And we got some shows debuting. I still have not got around to watching American Gods, but I have them on my back burner to watch, so I'm really excited to do that.
I've heard with American Gods that I would like to know if someone out there is watching the show, and also can you follow it without reading the book? I heard that if you don't read the book, the show's a little difficult to follow. So I don't know if maybe it's kind of one of those stories where they just bury the lead and you're just confused until like the last episode and there's a big reveal. But I don't know. I've heard buzz. Okay,
yeah, I've heard good things. I've got to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Marshall. He came and visited me this weekend. We had some good time, went out and watched some movies and had dinner and played some games, and he was talking about it, and he said he'd heard good things, and he hasn't read it. So hopefully, from his point of view, I trust him. I think it'll be cool to read that and go, or not read it, but watch it and go from there. Preacher, I saw a teaser for Preacher this week, and that comes out in June. So we got some summer TV shows. We got a lot of fall TV shows. Man, I don't even know what to think of it. We've got a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, the summer for me, I think a lot of people out there will agree as well, is when you catch up on a lot of TV shows that you just couldn't fit in the schedule during like the normal TV airing weeks. Mm-hmm. Like I've said before plenty of times on this show, we're a big TV family over here. And so we're always watching TV, not so much movies. So when the summer rolls around and like our kind of favorite shows like stop airing, we're just like, okay, well, what do we need to catch up on? And it's usually mostly dramas, like the hour-long dramas are just, they just build up, and then it's just like, I have to watch like 13 hours to catch up. Oh man, so much work. So
that's it's definitely going to be interesting. My goal this summer is probably a little more opposite of yours. I have, and we talked about this, last week and a couple weeks ago, but I broke down my calendar of what movies do I need to watch every week. Mm-hmm. And there's literally one a week, minus 1 week, the last week of June or the first week of July, one of those two, until August, I will be in the theater every week.
You're a busy man. You need like a frequent flyer card or something.
Oh, I do. Thankfully, both the theaters I go to are either it's Regal or AMC, and they both have point systems and stuff like that, where if you watch the movies there, they'll give you extra points and you can cash in. They have $5 off Tuesdays, I think it is. So $5 off your ticket on Tuesdays. I will never get to go to a movie on a Tuesday, so I don't concede to that. But it was pretty fun. I got this weekend. I actually didn't see anything new, because King Arthur was out, and I saw it, so I went back and saw Guardians. But next week is Alien, Covenant. And I know you did a little homework on that, I think.
Yes, I bought this Alien bundle pack on iTunes a while ago that has the first 4 Alien movies. So basically excluding Alien vs. Predator and Prometheus. I believe that's technically, I don't even know if AVP is considered canon, but...
it's not.
So those first 4 movies, I own them on iTunes. So I watched the first 2, which are arguably the best and the only good ones, depending on who you talk to. I've heard maybe a couple people out there that say the third one and the fourth one, well, they obviously do not hold a candle to the first 2. They're still watchable. So I don't know. I'm still deciding if I want to watch those. But I think I'm going to try to catch Prometheus, still watch that again, and then hit up Alien Covenant. Hopefully they've decided to write and fix this whole universe. I have no idea. But I had seen Alien before, the original, so I watched that again, and it was still just as good. And then right afterward, for my very first time ever, I had watched Aliens, which when you tell people that, some people will gasp. Not to the same level of if you say you haven't seen like Citizen Kane or Godfather or something like that, but Aliens is kind of one of James Cameron's crowning achievements. You know, he's really good at coming to a franchise that's already been established and kind of kicking it up to the next level. That's pretty much exactly what Aliens does. You're kind of following along similar beats that Alien followed, just everything is just cranked up. You know, instead of Ripley just running around with a single flamethrower towards the end of the first movie, in the second movie she's running around with a flamethrower literally duct taped to a machine gun. So it's like physically upping the ante just like that. But yeah, it was really cool, really fun. It's weird kind of seeing these aliens kind of not in computer graphics yet. They're still using like miniatures and puppets. So there's some scenes where like the aliens look super creepy, but then when they try to get that queen alien to like run across like this spaceship hangar, it just looks like a marionette puppet. So you just kind of have to like remember like, okay, this was back in the 80s, so you know, give them a pass. Okay. Apparently the other Alien movies, I believe, are in the 90s, so I don't know if they brought computer effects into that. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm trying to prep myself for Alien Covenant. I figured I'm going to give it the best shot. I want to see if they can write this Alien franchise, because we all know Prometheus was not so good.
Well, see, I think I'm going to disagree. I really enjoyed Prometheus, but I'm not precious on the Alien franchise as a whole. And I guess if you want to compare it to the previous one, which was, I guess, 4, is probably a fucking gem. The Batman. But yeah, I like Aliens. I'm probably not going to watch the Alien movies. I'm probably just going to watch Prometheus in regards to getting ready for that. So I
mean, technically, chronologically, that would be the appropriate thing to do. I mean, you watch Prometheus, which is supposed to be the first iteration of the franchise, then Alien Covenant, and then I think there's supposed to be one or two more.
At least one more. He said, well, I think he said, when he said another trilogy, he meant Prometheus, Covenant, and a third movie.
Okay. So, and then I guess that dovetails in the Alien, and I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, he'll back it in there. I mean, really, he's got nothing to lose, so I think he's on a good record lately. I mean, everybody loved The Martian. The Martian.
That's true. They did.
So, so we got that coming up, and it just kicks off the whole summer, and I don't even know what to think of it right now. I did joke that the summer ends with the Emoji Movie, so hopefully a lot of other things end with the Emoji Movie, not just
like
the summer.
like Sony's animation studio.
Yes,
ends with the Emoji Movie.
Just Sony's pictures as a whole, they just give it up and be like, you know what, Marvel, here's Spider-Man.
So you are kind of lucky out there in the Midwest that you don't have to be bombarded by the Emoji Movie billboards, which are, from a graphic designer's point of view, is the ugliest billboard I've ever seen in my entire life. I would very much expect them to use emojis on their billboard because it's the Emoji Movie. Obviously, you lean into it. But they just have this really strange just typography that they're using. Just font sizes are different. I mean, it's just super particular for someone like me, but they look awful. So just be lucky you don't have to inundate yourself with those.
I actually have something a little worse. One of the frequent channels in our household for background noise is the Game Show Network. Simply because you don't have to follow plot A to plot B on that. It's just a Game Show Network. And right now all the commercials are about a new show coming out called Emo Genius, where you have to figure out what the phrase and words is using emojis.
Oh gosh, what are they doing to our world?
So so those commercials are literally left and right. Every other commercial has a preview for Emo Genius. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is what we have to look forward to here.
Yeah. Well, I guess my final message is everything in moderation, fellas. Everything in moderation. This is not emoji moderation.
You know, in Sony's defense, I will say, conversation with Marshall this weekend on the way to the movie theater was they are doing The Dark Tower, which hopefully does well because, you know, I want to see something good come out of that movie. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, man, do I really want them to give up?
Well, we'll look at it this way. They can just maybe get rid of the animation part of their studio. Maybe just concentrate on making, I don't know, better Spider-Man movies. Because God forbid that Venom movie gets made, and hopefully they can put all their effort into making that not suck.
Yeah, and you just want to see the animated Spider-Man movie get erased from our website. So.
Yeah, we don't need that.
So, yeah, we got a lot going on. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about some of the TV shows we got going on here. Because most every other thing is a TV show today.
This is a new show after all. So
it is a new show. And surprisingly, for summer, it's a lot of TV news. First up it's called Marvel's The Gifted. Mm-hmm. And this may confuse a lot of people, but this is not a Marvel Cinematic property universe. This is the Fox X-Men universe.
Yeah, this is that X-Men TV show that we've been talking about for the last couple months.
Yes, and with the official teaser for the trailer, which drops tomorrow, they have titled it Marvel's The Gifted. So they are very, very leaning into the Marvel name brand on this one. Mm-hmm. And not the X-Men, ironically. So so it's a Fox TV show and it's Marvel produced, so they are colluding together to make this show. It's not Fox going out on their own. And it's set in the X-Men movie universe, we think. Now, could they do something and surprise us? Maybe. But everything they've ever said has been like, this is in the X-Men universe for the movies.
Yeah. And we got this little bit of a teaser here, so there's obviously not a whole lot to go on, but it looks like this is going to be, is this period piece? As in, like, what is this, like, 90s, 70s, 80s? I don't know.
I think it's 90s or 80s. Like, if I was to think so, it's 80s or 90s, judging by the decor.
Yeah.
And like, the vending machine.
Yeah, there's just not a whole lot to go off of. It's just like, I'm trying to remember, like, what shirt was that character wearing? Are they wearing that shirt ironically, or is that a period-appropriate shirt? I don't know.
Right, yeah, exactly. And to me, that was the vending machine. It's a classic vending machine with the spiral things that you can easily steal stuff out of.
Well, especially if you're a mutant, apparently.
Especially if you have some sort of power to pull it out of there. But a little more information on this. It was ordered to series, and I believe we might have talked about that last week. But it follows the Strucker family. Now, does that name ring a bell to you, Mike?
It does ring a bell.
Okay, and where would the Strucker family come into play here?
Well, the Strucker family, correct me if I'm wrong, just because I'm trying to remember through all of these X-Men movies. But wouldn't that be with the guy who... working in Weapon X, is that right?
No,
that's not Strucker.
Strucker is actually in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's where it gets even confusing.
Wait, Strucker, wasn't that the guy that was fighting the Hulk? Where? Just tell me, where's this name from? I'm getting all of these
at the end of Winter Soldier and in Age of Ultron, he created Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Baron von Strucker.
Yeah, that's right. The eye patch, Baron. Okay, it's all falling together.
Yeah.
I had all of these kind of menacing faces pop up in my head. Okay, I was like, is it the evil white guy from the X-Men, or is it the evil white guy from the Hulk? No, it's the evil white guy from Age of Ultron. That's like German.
Yeah, and he's like wiped out within the first like couple minutes off screen. Mm-hmm. So the Strucker, which is really, really weird that it's a Marvel Cinematic character name that's already established, and they're using the characters, the Strucker family, Andy and Laura. Now, in the comic books, Baron von Strucker has two children who are siblings, twins, Andrea and Andreas, I think they are. Very, very similar names. You know, one of those names, like, they're off by a letter to make it female. Mm-hmm. And so we see one of them's names here is Andy, which is like kind of leaning into that a little bit here, which is very, very confusing. for even me, and I'm in this stuff, Mike. So are they going to, like, is this actually in the X-Men movie universe? Is this a link into the cinematic universe that we don't know about?
It seems like this really weird line that the television shows are allowed to ride, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe obviously can't touch the X-Men because, all these lawyers and firewalls are in the way. But, I feel like when it comes down to the TV, they can just okay, we can kind of blur the lines here. No one's going to get too mad. No one's paying attention to us over here. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what it seems like.
Hopefully, there's some other news later we might talk about that may seem they're a little tighter than we think, Mike. So, but yeah, so there's the Strucker family, and I believe the two kids we see are Andy and Laura Strucker, doing the thing there. We'll know more tomorrow when the full trailer drops. Hopefully it's not a teaser for the trailer, because then I just quit, Mike. At that point, we're done. The show ends when they're teasers for teasers. And then lastly, we have an image from Bryan Singer, who is directing the debut episode, the pilot episode here, with the actress. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but it's the character is Polaris, which is actually in the comic books the third daughter child of Magneto, who has magnetic powers.
All right, so this is kind of our way of getting Magneto in a TV show, it seems like.
What it looks like. And she also looks to be in one of those suits that the rooms that Magneto's stuck in X-Men 2 with all the plastic and tubes, no metal around her. Mm-hmm. And she's also got an inmate suit number on like he did in there as well. So hopefully this ties back into the X-Men 2, where they created this stuff to hold Magneto in and keep him a prisoner. I think also Days of Future Past had him in a metal-proof cell.
Yeah, so. I mean, this X-Men universe is already ridiculously fractured. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the movies, and it's not getting any simpler.
Why are we trying to keep track of this? Yeah, this is Mike's alien timeline, except in an X-Men form. So
can't keep track of them all, man. My brain is just too busy. I need it to be simpler.
Yeah, just wipe it all fresh and start clean. So
yes, please.
That is the first TV show, The Gifted, debuting this fall on Fox, alongside. I don't have it here it's at the bottom of the notes, but Gotham was renewed for season 4. So I don't know how Gotham has any viewers, but season 4 goes.
They're out there apparently.
They're doing it. They're going for it. But that's not the only show Fox is working on here, and this one was probably the biggest shocker of the week, Mike. There is a Deadpool animated series being ordered at FXX, following Deadpool, and it is being. The showrunners are Stephen Glover and Donald Glover from Atlanta.
Yes, that is amazing. I mean, I haven't seen Atlanta yet. It's on my list. Like I said, it's on my summer list of things to watch, but I know it's good. We all love Donald Glover. Mm-hmm. We've always wanted to work him into the Marvel Universe. I mean, he's technically going to be in there for Spider-Man Homecoming, but I don't really know how long-term he's going to be in there. But anyway, yeah, circling back around to animated Deadpool, that's amazing. I mean, I think if you catch up and you watch the Spider-Man animated shows that are obviously kid-friendly, I believe he's popped up in there.
Yeah, he was. I think he voiced Miles in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV shows, actually. Mm-hmm. So,
but if you want to catch Deadpool, I guess in more of a mature light, I think I remember him in the Wolverine vs. Hulk animated movie. He kind of makes an appearance / cameo in there, and he's a little bit more mature because it's an animated movie. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what they'll do when they can kind of just lean into an adult audience. And at 10 episodes, I mean, that sounds awesome.
How 10 episodes on FXX, which is shaping up to be I thought was going to be a useless channel, but between Always Sunny and this, they're really kind of going all out there with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they also have Archer too, so they're familiar with primetime animation for adults. So, but I would be curious if maybe this isn't an attempt to maybe bolster some sort of digital streaming service, because that seems to be the reason a lot of these kind of shocking animated shows are getting renewed. We talked about Young Justice coming back for a third season for that DC digital platform, and that makes sense because they want to entice people to go to that digital platform. So I wonder if there's going to be some sort of digital connection. I would be surprised if there wasn't an FX app right now.
There is.
But I would assume that you probably have to log in through like a cable provider or something like that to look at it. So
yeah, that's correct.
I wonder if maybe they'll do like a paid option, like, hey, guess what? If you want to watch the Deadpool animated series, give us like $5 a month, and you can watch all of the backlog of Always Sunny too. I mean, like, maybe that's what they're gonna do. That's gonna be my guess.
And then they're gonna make an even more 18 plus only channel, FXXX. So we're just one step away from that one, Mike.
That's going to be the side of the app that really makes the most money.
It really will. You have to enter your credit card every time to watch a video. So it's technically an untitled Deadpool animated series. There's 10 episodes. 10's a magic number in my book. I don't think you need to be more than that. How many cutaways do you think they'll have per episode?
Hopefully as many as they can stuff in.
Yeah, so
it's going to be great because, like we said before, in the TV universe, I mean, it's Marvel animated. They can pretty much put in whatever they want. I mean, that's why a lot of the Marvel TV shows have been so enjoyable. It's just they don't have to worry so much about rights. You can kind of bring in whatever characters you want. And, you know, sometimes if there's a little bit of a wiggle room there, they'll just name the character kind of something else, and it'll still be obviously the character. So it'll be cool to see if maybe Deadpool will kind of lampoon maybe other animated stuff in his own animated show. Like, maybe he'll like kill a Simpsons character in his TV show. I don't know, but that could be kind of funny.
I'm laughing already, Mike. I'm laughing already.
I can hear it.
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, we don't know anything about the show, sadly, but with the Glovers in charge, I think, you know, we're going to get probably nothing lowbrow, like nothing, no cheap shots. There will be cheap shots because Deadpool, but like I expect probably something a little classier than what we would normally expect coming from an animated TV show.
Yeah, I would be kind of curious if this was an idea that sprung from Donald Glover's head, or maybe if this was just something on a list of things that they could possibly make. Because I believe a few months ago we talked about Donald Glover having some sort of like development deal over at FX, or maybe I saw it somewhere else. But yeah, I think, you know, they just want to keep him. So like, hey, you can just make whatever you want. So maybe they were just like, hey, we're thinking about making this Deadpool animated thing. Do you want to make that? And he's probably like, hell yeah, I love Deadpool.
Yeah, he was like,
either way,
they probably went to him like, your Atlanta's doing well. We want to keep you. What do you want to do? Kind of thing.
Yeah, either way, it looks like it's going to be a passion project, and that's always good because that's literally what the Deadpool movie was, passion project from Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I don't, again, know what to do, but, you know, Donald Glover, he's in the Han Solo movie. He is in Spider-Man. He is doing a Deadpool animated series. Like, he's the voice of Simba in the upcoming Lion King movie. Like, this guy is all over the place right now. So
yeah, he's working. He is working.
Yeah. So as they say, so hot right now, Mike. So hot right now. But that's not the only Deadpool news. We actually have some Deadpool 2 casting news. So hold on to your butts, if you will. There's supposedly rumor. This has gone back and forth. Casting 3 new members, X-Force members, for the upcoming Deadpool 2 movie to appear in it, and then hopefully go into the X-Force film in Deadpool 3. One of the characters is Sunspot. He actually has been in Days of Future Past already. He was in the future version where he like could shoot fire out and melt things and absorb stuff. So he was in that. He might also be in New Mutants. I don't think so, but his other counterpart, Cannonball, is. Another character is Feral, who has a bunch of feline characteristics of a I guess a mutant with feline characteristics. I don't know what this is going to look like, honestly. And lastly, Shatterstar, who is the son of Longshot and Dazzler, and he has hollow bones and silver eyes, and he's like very like weird. He's okay. He's like normal looking, but he's got like those silver eyes and stuff. So if any X-Men people are familiar with these characters, you'll probably be excited. But as for me, I only know Sunspot because he's leader of like the new Avengers in the comic books going on right now.
I mean, this I would be lying if I said this didn't make me a little nervous, I would say, just because it seems like they're starting to pack the Deadpool movie pretty tight, and sometimes that could work out. But I kind of liked, the Deadpool movie only had like a couple characters in it, and it was just kind of like a fun time just on a somewhat smaller budget. So obviously they're getting a little bit more resources for the second movie, and I could see they're leading up to an X-Force movie. I'm just kind of hoping they still just kind of keep it light and fun and just don't start packing it full of characters, because if these guys are coming plus Cable, and is Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead returning as well?
Yeah. Yes, they are definitely in the film.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 characters plus Deadpool. I mean, you're already topping the number of Avengers there. So
I would normally agree with you, but after watching Guardians, I mean, these characters could be relegated to like Ravager material.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. That maybe they just kind of like pop up. Deadpool.
Yeah, we gotta start.
Makes fun of makes fun of Farrell for like peeing in a box or something like that, and then like off they go.
They're just there to tease them for X-Force, because they're known X-Force members. So, or maybe even Cable references them later on. Who knows? There will be time travel probably with Cable's involved, and yeah, if it works in Guardians, I'll give them some doubt. The Deadpool people, they seem to kind of they get to do what they want. And what they did last time was pretty fun. So
yeah, and it, just like everything we talk about when it comes to superhero properties, it's all about developing trust. And Ryan Reynolds has our trust for now, so we'll go in with open hearts.
And if Josh Brolin's signing up for it, like being Thanos and now Cable, he's got to be good. Like I don't see him jumping ship just because for a paycheck after Marvel's giving him money. So another TV show coming, an animated one, is actually Spider-Man, new animated Spider-Man show, because Ultimate Spider-Man is ending, and we got some concept art, teaser, promo art, whatever this is, for the upcoming show, and it gives us a look at appears to be, I believe, in maybe one of the Ultimate comic books, the Sinister Six, because they made Spider-Man one of the 6 in there. But it looks just to reimagine some villains here, Mike.
I mean,
keep others the same. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's just I feel like they're going to be rebooting Spider-Man in the cartoon universe basically till the end of time. So it almost seems like just a playground for kind of maybe new different ways you can use the characters. But the only thing that I guess really stands out to me here is the Vulture up there in the corner kind of has a similar designed helmet to what we see Michael Keaton has in the Homecoming trailers.
And his feet, too.
Yeah, so I guess they're probably going to bring in some influences. And usually that's what they do for, like, comic books and animated shows is they try to... I think they're basically telling these artists and creators, hey, try to tie this a little bit to the Marvel movie universe, because that's making bank, and the closer we can relate ourselves to that, without copying it, that's going to be good for the show. But yeah, I mean, the art looks cool.
I'd say on that note, I want to agree with you, but like Dr. Octopus looks like Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2.
He does.
And I know it's not the MCU, but I think they took a couple of these characters that like, well, how do we make Dr. Octopus look menacing other than just, like a nerd like he does in the books? So I definitely agree that they're pulling some of that movie influence, some of the better choices in there. But Rhino, thankfully, is not a big robot suit.
Yeah, that's a classic Rhino that I remember from the '90s, the '90s Spider-Man. But yeah, this is cool. I hope it works out for them.
Yeah, and again, we don't see any Mysterio, sadly, and we don't see any Sandman in this one. Sandman's usually a staple villain in the Spider-Man universe. As for Spider-Man, what do you think of him? Anything comes to mind there?
It looks pretty cool. I mean, he looks like he's got a little flourish around his palm there where the blue of the suit kind of comes down. That's kind of new. I haven't really seen that before. But it looks like a pretty cool costume. Everything looks really dynamic here. I wonder if maybe they're going for more of a slightly mature style. I don't want to say, just because when I think of Spider-Man Unlimited, the one that's kind of airing right now, it does seem a little on the childish side, obviously because it's for kids, but yeah, this seems just has a little bit more of like an action feel to it, kind of how that new action Justice League show is. What I think that's literally called, like, Justice League Action, isn't it?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, Justice League Go. No, Teen Titans Go. Justice League. Yeah, probably. Probably something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. And what you meant was Unlimited Spider-Man, not or Ultimate Spider-Man, not Spider-Man Unlimited. That was not a good show.
I can't keep track of all of them. Man.
They're all used, and I would agree that his suit looks like it was pulled out of the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books yet again. Although that one is kind of now defunct in the comic universe, it does look like that. And then the good old Goblin on his pumpkin bombs and his glider looking like a goblin. So I feel like they're never going to be able to make him feel menacing. So, so hopefully do something. Hopefully it is grown up and more adult. So I agree with you there. But not only that, we have some new Spider-Man Homecoming promotional images. Our next Marvel movie we got to get hyped for, Mike. And this new one is actually a poster done in the style of the Amazing Fantasy 15, where Spider-Man first actually appeared. So the Spider-Man Homecoming's got Spider-Man in his new suit, reintroducing Spider-Man July 17th. Or July of 2017, not 17th. So that pose just looks so unnatural, but, you know, what do I know about Spider-Man?
Yeah, well, it looks kind of weird that they excluded him saving somebody. That's always kind of been the whole point of the cover, that Spider-Man is a hero and rescuing somebody. So I think that's why the pose looks so weird.
Yeah, it does. But everything else seems to be kind of updated and carried over a little bit, using photorealistic buildings in the background and so on and so forth. And yeah, that's from listener Brian Smith of Comic UI. He sent over that image, and I had to include that in here because I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's a cool poster. I would probably put of the Spider-Man Homecoming promotional posters, I would get that poster if I had to buy one of them.
Oh yeah, that would be a tight poster.
Yeah, so I'm definitely on board that one there. And again, that comes out in July, so that's our next big Marvel movie, Mike. Let's cross your fingers. Get ready for it. Avengers Infinity War has a little bit of news today. Robert Downey Jr. shared something to his Facebook this week that got me a little excited. Mostly because, again, you are a big fan of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, as am I. And he shared a fan version of Asgardian armor to his Facebook feed. And again, this is nothing official. This is pure rumor and speculation. Mike's favorite. But what if they actually get their Asgardian built Uru-infused armor and weapons for the Infinity War films, Mike, like they did in Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
That would be pretty crazy. I'm kind of curious if maybe Asgard is still going to be standing by the time we get to that movie.
Well, they did. In Earth's Mightiest Heroes, they didn't go technically to Asgard. They went to where I think Ulik the troll is, who built the Mjolnir, which is not on Asgard. So
it would be kind of cool. I don't think they need to necessarily go all out and get all of their kind of equipment from Asgard, but it would be kind of cool if maybe there was little flourishes here and there. Like, obviously in the trailer we see Hela, destroy Mjolnir just in the palm of her hand. But, I mean, there could be scraps of Mjolnir just hanging around that alley. It'd be kind of cool if maybe you grab some of that stuff, smelt it into maybe I don't know, maybe like a little bit of a shield or armor or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the Asgardian Uru-infused armor came from a comic series called Fear Itself, and then in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, they gave like a bunch of people, like Hawkeye had a bow made out of it, and I think Wolverine had claws made out of it or something. It got a little wild, a little out there. But I mean, I could see them maybe heading to like, your Earth powers aren't going to be strong enough alone. We need to infuse them with a little more cosmic abilities.
It's just going to be crazy. I just try to imagine what the battle between Thanos and all these Avengers is going to be like, and I think it's just going to be insane. So whether they have those weapons or not, I kind of hope they're all getting their asses kicked, so it just feels really desperate.
Oh man, I can't wait for it to feel desperate like this. Like, we got to wait a year to see what really happens. So, but it got me talking this weekend. This got me thinking about, what if Rocket Raccoon and Tony Stark met up? What would they build on the fly? Because they're both builders. They make things on the fly. So this armor definitely spawned some thoughts in my head. Like, what could they build that would be fun? And that kind of brings us to our next point here. We have just a kind of an update on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Box office update after 2 weekends is worldwide at $630 million. After 2 weekends, Mike, you think it's going to hit that 1 billion mark this year?
Well, so I kind of had the opinion to myself that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was going to break records when it came to like opening weekend. I just figured it had everything going for it. You know, it was the very beginning of the summer. It was the sequel to a very unexpected and very positive movie. Like everybody was falling in love with Baby Groot and stuff. I was expecting like either like a Thursday night opening record break or an opening weekend. We didn't get that, but obviously it's making money. Like no one needs to be afraid for this movie not like making a profit. That would just be ridiculous. But I think this is going to be a little different type of movie. I think it's going to have legs. And I think by the end of its run at the end of the summer, it's going to have a ton of money. Like I could see this being in the top 3 for the summer easily. And I'm talking like, you know, worldwide, domestic, everything, like total returns. So I think it's going to be pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't break any records, but it's huge. It beat out, you know, the King Arthur movie and something else this weekend. And you did mention something here, Baby Groot. This is going to have merchandise sales through the fucking roof, man.
Yeah.
Like you're going to see, like, I was at Toys R Us earlier today, like a little outlet Toys R Us, like a weird one. And they have a Toys R Us exclusive Marvel Legends line, which is the big tall Groot from the first movie. The potted Groot from the first movie, and then a Baby Groot inside it as well. So you get all 3 of them when you buy it.
There you go.
So Groot's taken over. Pop vinyls. They released 2 more pop vinyls after the movie debuted on for the series. I mean, it's huge. It's great. I've seen it 3 times, Mike. I've seen it 3 times.
How is it holding up on those repeat viewings? You know, you've kind of had a week to digest it, so you're getting this 3rd viewing in. How'd it go?
I loved it. I got to go again. I haven't said enough with Marshall, and we went and saw it in IMAX 3D. And seeing it with someone who's seen it already is probably just as enjoyable as the first time, because you're both like pointing at things on the screen, like, oh, that's that guy, and there he is, and then like giving it, you know, like in the right moments, like hell yeah, fist pump moments. It felt good. Honestly, I could go 4 or 5 times and not have any problem if I had that much free time to watch it.
All right, that's awesome, man. And this movie doesn't have a whole lot in its way, I would say, until June 2nd when Wonder Woman drops. You know, I don't think Alien Covenant is really going to compete too much for box office wise with Guardians, just because it's just a different type of summer action blockbuster movie. So I think this is just going to keep racking up the cash until June rolls around.
Yeah, and I think there's some Asian markets opening today for the film as well. So globally, it's at, you know, again, total 600 and something million on a $200 million budget. But I think it's going to skyrocket once it hits Japan, where it's actually called Guardians of the Galaxy Remix in Japan.
I like that.
Yeah, and I think it might have opened in China opening day with us, but like there's some Asian markets that haven't got it yet, so that's really exciting to see where those numbers probably lie as well. And then the next part, maybe, I don't think this is spoilerish, Mike, but what do you think? You're looking at the notes here. I mean, do we talk about it? Do we give it a spoiler notice?
Yeah, let's just put up the invisible spoiler banner that you can't see because this is an audio podcast. But just drop it real quick, I guess. Okay.
Well, so Kevin Feige's out doing his rounds. He's out of his hole, and he apparently dropped some news on Fox Marvel, what they have shared, and this kind of goes back to earlier, like the Struckers. That could fall under a Fox Marvel share. But the Watchers, the race of aliens, we know for Uatu from the comics, is a shared. Those characters are shared, even though they debuted in, I think, Fantastic Four number 11. So I think there's a lot more sharing going on than we realize right now. So,
well, maybe. I mean, it would be it's weird to imagine a world where maybe in the future all of these rights kind of just decide to start sharing each other just so they can start making a bunch of money. And I could see it happening. I mean, everybody's, kind of speculating like when superhero fatigue is going to set in, but maybe it won't be superhero fatigue. Maybe it'll just be box office, tentpole, summer, huge movie fatigue. I don't really know which way it's going to go, but maybe once they start to see their returns start to like dwindle a little bit, maybe they'll just be like, all right, well, we're starting to lose a little bit of money. Let's just throw all of these characters together. We don't even give a shit anymore. So maybe that'll happen. And then we'll see the Watcher in all of the movies.
Maybe. I think, box office / blockbuster fatigue is going to be harder to pinpoint now that any month can be a blockbuster month.
Very
according
true.
to the studio. So, I don't know. We'll see. I was looking at my list. I'm actually excited about all the movies this summer. Last year I felt maybe a little more fatigued than this year, but I don't know the difference. I don't know what would have made this year different than last year. So maybe it's because we get 3 Marvel movies this year instead of just 2. But also on the cap the Marvel front here and back to TV news, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and with 1 episode left to go in this season has been renewed for season 5. So
yeah,
I think 5 will be the last season if I was going to be a betting man.
Wow. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the landscape is like for ABC then once they kind of lose S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of it's like the flagship Marvel TV show. Whether you want to believe the Netflix shows are dominating quality wise, S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of there first and kind of shepherding it, their connection between the movie universe. So with that's gone, I wonder if maybe they expect Inhumans to kind of take up the mantle. But like we've said before, the Inhumans season is a shorter run season, so maybe they decide to replace Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a 23, 24 episode show, maybe with 2 different shows,
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. The only reason I say it might be canceled is after Infinity War, who knows the landscape of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Will S.H.I.E.L.D. even be relevant with these large like in the show, everyone always talks about the incident from Avengers. So the next inciting quote unquote incident would be, I assume, Thanos coming to take over and attacking everybody. So what if they get the gauntlet and restore the world back to a perfect form, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is regenerated back to the way it is, and then that's how the show ends? Maybe it's 2 more seasons. I don't know, but I think S.H.I.E.L.D. has got 1 more good season left in it, and then they might have to nix it. But five years would be a good run for a show. So
yeah, that's true. No one's wagging a finger at that.
Yeah, so
especially with the rough start it had.
Yeah, so 1 more episode Tuesday to end out S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'm really excited because we get to see a fan favorite of the season return for it. So cross fingers there. Another show, you mentioned this one actually to us this week, is Judge Dredd. Mega City 1 is a TV show coming to us eventually.
Yes, surprised. I am very surprised.
And you point out it's made by I Am Global and produced by Rebellion, and I have no idea who those are, but we got a poster for it. I mean, they're excited to give us a poster.
Yeah, it's very much in the early development. Like, this is basically like they're just announcing it. They're trying to see if how much hype out there is for it, just because Dredd is a popular indie, I would say indie comic possibly, but it's not like a big mainstream type of thing out there. We did get that Stallone movie and the Carl Urban movie, but it's never really taken off in in pop culture, I would say.
It's a very cult. It's a cult followed.
Yeah, exactly.
Property.
But it makes me think that right now they're just kind of developing it, and then maybe they're going to kind of shop it around the different networks, because when you announce a TV show, if it's going to be on like a Netflix or if it's going to be, even on an Amazon, you let that out right away because that's kind of a selling point. So it makes me think that okay, we're going to start making this, developing it, just shop it around, see who wants it. My guess, though, is just because I did some Googling because I really wanted to know. This production company has worked with Sci-Fi in the past, so it makes me think Sci-Fi is trying to do this new thing where they're getting Krypton as a show. They're actually even rebranding. Like, I just saw a news article this week that Sci-Fi is rebranding their logo. They're telling their audience that they're going to lean more into science fiction, kind of, I guess, maybe go back to their roots. So maybe Judge Dredd falls into that mission statement. So yeah, maybe Sci-Fi is trying to be a big player out there.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, it looks like a sci-fi, judging by this poster, it looks like a sci-fi show. And it kind of gives me a Fifth Element vibe on the streets below. And that, so I have no idea what's going to happen here, but I mean, they were kind enough to give us a little bit of a synopsis here, where it's set on the East Coast in the future, and the U.S. has become crowded and crime-ridden megalopolis. That's a fun word. It'll be an ensemble drama about a team of judges with the power to be judge, jury, and executioner as they deal with the challenges of the future-shocked 22nd century. So, judging by the picture, it does say 2016 AD in the upper left. So maybe this is real time. They'll be this 2017, or 2018, and when they film it, but it's like their hyper futuristic world. I don't know, but
if you had to have your pick for what network you'd want to see a Judge Dredd TV show on, where would you want to see it?
I guess Sci-Fi.
Really? I mean,
I've heard really good things about The Expanse.
Well, I mean, my best guess is that network, but I would kind of just hope it would maybe go someplace where it would get maybe a little bit more money, maybe a little bit more I would say maturity to it, just because Sci-Fi is still cable, so they can't just go F-bombs all out. But it'd be kind of cool maybe to see it on like Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know how much language or I mean, violence would be where I would probably lean into, because they're executing people on the spot. But I think, Sci-Fi, they did do good with Battlestar Galactica. Again, I've heard nothing but good things about The Expanse, which is still, thriving on 13 episode seasons. So if they wanted to add another 13 episode season show, I could totally see Mega City 1 or whatever being part of that. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it though, no matter where they put it. So that's really what it boils down to for me. Like, is there a calling for a Judge Dredd TV show, Mike? Is that something you want to put on your calendar every week?
Yeah, well, I mean, I loved Carl Urban in that last one, so it piques my interest. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll knock on wood there. And another surprise announcement this week, Hellboy is getting a reboot movie in the works with David Harbour, who is the sheriff in Stranger Things, as the lead character.
I am shocked. This is just more just strange. It's a very strange news week of getting these things that I don't think anyone ever thought would happen. I just assumed Hellboy, since it never got that third movie, and even when Guillermo was kind of thinking about it, it still never happened. So I just assumed like no studio really wanted to touch it. They were just like, no, we want to go for properties that maybe people know already, So this could be cool.
Yeah, so this one, I guess Millennium is the studio working on this. I don't know anything about Millennium. So, but and the director is Neil Marshall, who did The Descent and has done some stuff on Game of Thrones. He's attached currently, and the subtitle is Rise of the Blood Queen. And it has a script already.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, it's been like kind of like it was either going to be Hellboy 3 or this, and it looks like this was the option because Guillermo del Toro is not involved, nor is Ron Perlman. So this is going to be a brand new reboot, and it's going to go for the dark, gruesome, R-rated vibe of Hellboy, kind of to match the comic book tone.
Yeah, well, I think that rated R note there makes a whole lot of sense. Deadpool, luckily, its success has done a lot of really awesome things. We are still really worried about what fallout could come from this popular rated R movie trend. We don't want studios to abuse it, but this could be possibly a good thing. It makes sense that a studio wouldn't necessarily want to make a third Hellboy movie with Ron Perlman, because more than likely there's not going to be a fourth one that they're going to get out of it. So if they start from scratch, they can, plan out their whole trilogy and franchise right off the bat, have all these actors sign on for these multiple contracts. They can have this overarching story over 3 movies, so they can kind of get that going. I like the idea of it being rated R and gruesome. I mean, Hellboy is from hell. He's a character with a giant rock arm, probably wants to kill and crush some people with it. He's got a big old gun. It's awesome. David Harbour was really awesome in Stranger Things. We thought he could possibly be Cable in the Deadpool movie. We liked him that much. So this does seem good. I think maybe some people just might be kind of disappointed because Ron Perlman was such a good Hellboy. Nerds love Guillermo del Toro. We love Guillermo. So it's kind of sad to see that he's not going to continue on. I hope he's at least an executive producer or something on it. I would hope at least maybe the director will sit down and have a meeting with him, at least kind of talk about what he thinks Hellboy is to him. But this is cool. This is good news. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I am too. And again, the comic book is very much R-rated, and the script is written by Hellboy creator Mike Mignola on this one as well.
Oh,
He's
cool.
One of the three writers, and kind of reading some reports, it was Del Toro wanted a huge budget for 3, and the producers. This is technically the third studio in 3 films to make this, so they keep trying, but they were like, a reboot and a relaunch is probably going to be easier and cheaper and better on the whole than to continue that one. So I'm all for it. I know a lot of people who read Hellboy comics at my comic book shop still. Really love the creator there. So hopefully they get something good and a property that we can all enjoy later on. So
yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they portray Hellboy on screen, because I feel like maybe they'll do like a mixture of practical and CG effects. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be a very different. Hopefully, it's very, very different than the Del Toro ones, so we're not confused in the process. So that's my knock on wood there. Good news, bad news, however you want to look at this. Powerless has been canceled by NBC.
Surprise!
Yep, and they are unsure if the remaining episodes they filmed the whole season are going to air or not yet, because they canceled it and just removed it from the lineup almost immediately this week.
Oh, that is rough. I mean, I didn't watch it past episode 1 just because I was not really impressed with it. I thought it had some interesting ideas, but I just wasn't liking the way the show was coming together.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It felt like it was beating me over the head with all the stuff in it. I did have one friend say he liked the jokes in it. They hit better later than the first season, but yeah, I'm not too disappointed here. So the less the better for us right now, Mike. I think that's the only one canceled here. The rest of this news is all TV new seasons and renewals. So.
Well, it makes me think that, remember about a year ago we were talking about how Marvel was going to do their kind of comedy superhero show, and then they're like, oh, well, DC's going to do one too. It makes me think maybe Marvel was the smart one that said, we don't think this is going to go over too well. Let's not make the show. And DC was just like, nope, we're making it. Let's see what happens. And it didn't work.
Yeah, it did not last very long is what it looked like there. But that's okay, because Mike's your new favorite show is getting a season here. Krypton. We all love Krypton, right? No, we don't. This is a show that nobody was asking for. But Sci-Fi, and I guess in their rebranding and in their renewal of this year, has decided to give an official series order on Krypton, the series that follows Superman's grandfather on the Superman planet. I guess it was Krypton, wasn't it? So. Which is weird. They live on Krypton. Kryptonite is their weakness when he's on Earth. I don't know. But so Sci-Fi will have Krypton, and I guess we don't know if it's done by David Goyer, but I don't know if it sits in the DC Extended Universe yet or not.
Yeah, I mean,
even though it has the same symbol.
We weren't a fan of the idea of the show, and we weren't really impressed by the trailer, but I have heard a little bit out there on the web that people maybe are excited for it, so I guess maybe it's not the rule that people that are looking forward to it. There are some exceptions.
Yeah, we are not in that exception though. So go for that. Also in the CW, they're adding another show with Black Lightning with a full series order on the CW. So I don't know if we've seen anything from it. Just a couple images, maybe not a trailer. But
they're really hitting the ground running with that. I was kind of expecting maybe just a smaller order, then maybe they would order more, but. Yeah, I guess the CW is really confident with their superhero properties.
Yeah, I guess so, and they renewed all the other ones earlier this year, like in January or something like that. But I don't know when, because Black Lightning was originally supposed to be developed at Fox, so maybe they had a bunch done there already. With a potential Fox budget, they were like, okay, let's develop a bunch of these. Now the CW's had it like. Well, I guess Fox fronted the money. We can just go ahead and turn a lot of these into shows.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know where it's going to fit on the weeknight. What do you think? They're going to put it on Thursday since they have no shows there right now?
I mean, it's possible. I would see maybe there's not an issue with doubling up. It seems like they're putting maybe some of their weaker shows, possibly maybe even this newer show, kind of in front or behind the Flash, just because it draws in so many people. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Arrow only gets like one more season. So maybe they're kind of prepping these shows to replace Arrow. I don't know.
Maybe. I think the name Black Lightning and the Flash with the lightning bolt might be too confusing for the common goer to put them on the same night, or maybe they need to be on the same night so people aren't confused. Like, someone's gonna have lightning here, so.
Chris, always looking out for the confused commoners.
I get a lot of questions very frequently at work about a lot of this stuff. Where does this fit in? Like, how does the Suicide Squad tie into the Avengers? I'm like, it doesn't.
Oh no.
Calm down. But another it's not superhero, but comic book property, iZombie, has been renewed for a 4th season on CW as well.
Chris, I didn't even know they made it past the 1st season, so I'm very surprised. iZombie is just totally off my radar.
The 3rd season debuted, it skipped the fall and came right to the spring. It's like a shorter episode season for this show.
Oh, gotcha.
And I guess it's got its own little cult following. So kudos for people who like it. But,
yeah, good for iZombie, kind of sneaking in under there.
Yeah, a zombie show that people aren't mad at every Sunday night for doing something wrong. So iZombie, and then earlier we mentioned this. Fox has also gone ahead and renewed Gotham for a 4th season.
Yeah, I don't know anybody watching that show personally.
I know one person, and he's just like, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away. Like, you got to see how bad it goes. So, good for Gotham, I guess, and both of his fans.
Even though Fox, they did cancel a bunch of non-superhero related shows that I guess people liked. I mean, I liked Son of Zorn, which was, I believe it was developed by Chris Lord and Phil Miller. Yeah, Lord Miller. I really liked that show. It wasn't the best comedy ever, but it was kind of a cool concept of kind of like a He-Man cartoon character living in the real world. And then they also canceled their other show about like time travel that I heard some people liked.
NBC was Timeless.
No, there was a bunch of time travel shows. I think that was one. No, this other one was a comedy time travel show.
Oh, well, the thing about NBC's Timeless, they canceled it on Friday, renewed it Saturday. So NBC backtracked it because of the fan outlash.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's surprising.
They did their own time traveling to solve this. So
I guess there wasn't enough backlash for Son of Zorn, so I'm sad to see Son of Zorn go, but somehow Gotham makes it through.
Somehow it does. You say Batman will show up eventually. It's like a George R. Martin book. The dragons are coming. Well, Batman's coming eventually, so
he's got to age into it first.
He's got to get there. And then lastly, the Lego movie is getting a TV spinoff. Other than all the other Lego movies we're getting all year long, it's getting a spinoff with the Unikitty led TV series. So
the tendrils of Lego are starting to just creep ever so out there. You know, we had the Lego movie. Everybody liked it. It was good. We kind of thought it was going to be possibly a one-off thing. Then they made Lego Batman. Model. All right, Lego Batman. That was awesome, too. Lego obviously can lampoon franchises pretty well. Then, hey, heads up, here's a ninja movie. Basically, we're going to sell a ton of ninja Legos, but it still looks pretty good. And then we're getting the spin-off TV show, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there's something else that gets spun off.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Ninjago movie did not have my attention until the trailer played, and I'm like, son of a bitch. They got me, and that's later this year, so who knows what other property they have in Legos they could turn into it. I'm really just kind of sad that, Logan came out in March, and its DVD release, or the digital release, is Tuesday. The Lego Batman movie was in February, and it's not out till June. And
damn.
I really want to watch the Lego Batman movie again.
Yeah, it was really good, man.
It's such a good time, so I'm disappointed on the how release dates from theater to like being able to stream it at home vary so much from studio to studio. So it's got me a little sad, but that's all right because we got a Unikitty Lego movie, and you may eventually have some inside connections on that. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I've heard of some people out here who are actually working on the show. Talented artists, so that's awesome. I have no idea what the show's going to be like. I mean, it seems like when you make your main character the unicorn rainbow character, it seems like maybe they're going to try to hit more toward that girl audience, but who knows, it could end up being good. Maybe boys will like it too. It's obviously aimed towards kids because it's going to be on Cartoon Network. So.
Do you think, I didn't know it was on Cartoon Network. I thought that's cool to know, but I guess all the other Justice League shows were on there. Do you think this is going to be the Lego style, or do you think they're going to choose a different art style for this?
Well, I mean, all we have to go off of right now is just kind of one piece of promo art where it kind of has like feels a little Powerpuff Girls-ish in the kind of style and colors. I mean, I don't know. There's just like how we started the show with The Gifted. We didn't have much to go off of there. We don't have much to end off here with the Lego Movie. But it'll be curious maybe if cameos can kind of come into the show. Maybe we'll get other Lego characters from other Lego movies. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the art I've seen here, some official Unikitty series from Warner Brothers, seems to be very, very Teen Titans Go. Looking. So maybe it's not the Lego movie format turned into that. So I thought it was going to just be a Lego movie style, but I guess that would be very expensive to do that with on a TV show.
Yeah, this is 2D animation.
Yeah, 2D animation with that, like, I guess My Little Pony and meets Teen Titans Go kind of stuff.
Yeah. End of the story basically is a Lego wants all of your money.
They do, and they about got some today, man. They about got some today. Walked into the outlet Toys R Us, they had Legos right there in the beginning. So
man, can you imagine how much Disney is going to pay in the future to acquire Lego? Because I just imagine it's going to happen at some point in time. Like if Disney's going to drop $4 billion for Star Wars, I think they might drop a couple bill for Lego.
You think Warner Brothers would sell it?
I mean, Warner Brothers, I believe they only have the movie and TV rights. I'm saying Disney might just straight up buy the whole Lego Corp, like the toys and stuff, from the plastic it's built on.
That'd be intense.
Oh, it'd be crazy, and I think they might do it.
Yeah, they might. I have one Lego set. Me and my wife have one Lego set in mind. It's the Disney castle from whatever the Magic Kingdom is. It's like a $350 set, but it's like over 1,000 pieces.
Oh yeah, Lego's awesome, man. I love Lego.
Yeah, so we got the eye on that, but that's it. So that's it for the news. A lot of TV stuff. We were able to get an hour out of this, surprisingly, Mike. I didn't think we would, but you know us, can't shut us up here. But yeah, if people want to know, you've been sharing some of our new artwork from our new YouTube videos, and sharing that. So where can people find those at? Because maybe they haven't seen them all yet.
Well, they can follow me at Mike Royer Design on Twitter and Instagram, and you can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com. Chris, if people want to catch up with what you're doing, because obviously, like you said, you got a movie every week that you're going to, where can they follow you?
You can find me on Twitter at Valdan, VALDAN, and I always post my Instagram stuff on there, so you can link that to my Instagram. I don't even know what it is anymore. It's already logged in, so I gave up. Or you can read stuff on Comic Yard, listen to our other podcast, Film Side Chats, with my friend Patrick, who gave you your Prometheus or Alien or no Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
It was some Ridley Scott movie, wasn't it?
Yes, basically, don't watch the original. But don't watch the super special edition. Watch that middle one, the director's cut. Director's cut.
There we go. We will probably forget that several times. Mike, screenshot that, bookmark it, save it somewhere, so we have it, and we'll remember to bring that up later in the summer when that movie comes up. But other than that, this might be the first time people are tuning in to Superhero Slate. Mike, where else can they find us at, no matter where they're listening to us?
Well, as always, as I say at the end of every episode, please visit superheroslate.com. That is the best place to find all the avenues we host this show, and also to get our awesome show notes. So if you want to check out all this stuff we're talking about, and you don't want to hunt down those links yourself, we got them all in one place. It's in our show notes. But you can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Tumblr. You can subscribe and get us right in your email inbox every week. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and you can pick up some Superhero Slate merch at superheroslate.com/store. If you're a fan of the show, please consider leaving us a review wherever you listen to the show. We really like that. I'd appreciate that. It really helps us out. And just drop us a comment, drop us a like, drop us a message, and we love reading all that stuff. And if you're a super fan of the show, all you got to do to get that super fan status is just share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we will be here every week.
Yes, and I want to know how many times other people have seen Guardians. I know you've only seen it once, right, Mike?
Yeah, just once.
Do you have plans to see it again?
I want to see it again, yeah.
All right, good. So everyone tell us how many times you've seen the movie. I'm curious. I want to know. So that's it for this week, and I guess we will catch you guys next week.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
I wish we had something funny to say.
Jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. That's kind of funny.
All right, well, we'll put that down.